Wally Stroupe on SRC Motorsports, me and my wife. We build custom race cars and competition eliminator, top sportsman, Pro Mod, Pro Stock. I started out with 68 Camaro. My dad bought me 73, 74, had a blown engine in it, a 4-speed car. And he built the engine in it. We painted it and everything. Started driving it, and every time I went to town I got a ticket for loud mufflers or something. So we finally started going to the racetrack with it, Shady Side Dragway. And got to racing it, and before I know it, we had cut it apart and made a full-blown race car out of it. So that's street racing now. Back then you didn't say no law. Now you couldn't do anything. Dad used to run round track, and he drag raced some too. And they run a dirt track car. He ran with Ralph Earnhardt and Dale, Sticky Elliott, and all that bunch. And he did that up until I was small. And last year they raced, he won 28 races. And he got tired of being protested all the time, so he sold it to another guy. And he won a bunch of races. And we started drag racing after that. Believe it or not, in 1979 and 80, with a 358 engine, we ran 820 with it in an eighth of a mile. We turned it into a full-blown race car, and I went 616 with it in an eighth. And then I built a new car the following year, a 68 Camaro. We had a friend of ours had a body he had bought from Harry, and had the metal top and quarters and stuff. He wanted to sell it, so we bought it. And then we started running 550s with low qualifier every week, either between Shady Side, Hudson, or Shuffletown, or Farmington, Greer. And then I guess we're still the only ones won 3 races in one weekend. We did that twice. And I built a quick rod car, which was top sportsman back then. And the first race we went to, won best engineered with it at Darlington. And then it's just kind of progressed from there. I've always been the type, if I look at something, I can come back and build it. And back then, I mean, the technology is not like it is now. I mean, back then, a back half car was a fast car. So I just cut the back out behind the seat, put 2 or 3 frame in it. And then we kind of progressed from there with a full frame. And the actual first full chassis I built out of round tubing was an Oldsmobile Cutlass for a customer of mine. And he told me he wanted it TIG welded up. And I said, I hate TIG welding, I'm not gonna do it. Well, I want it TIG welded, so we TIG welded it up, wound up. That's why everything had to be anymore. Back then we didn't have SFI rules. It's just kind of whatever you put together was what you had. And I think it was in 1991 when they came up with the SFI stuff. And had to start building everything by specs then, which is a good thing. But yeah, back then it was a little different. It's like I was telling a guy a while back, I said, if you'd have raced with us back in the 70s and 80s, you was wondering what we were thinking. As long as it went fast, we didn't care. You know, the rest of it didn't matter. I mean, no fire suits, didn't have anything. Just get in it and go. And boy, things changed for the better. We just wanted to race. When we was bracket racing, I mean, we'd run 3 or 4 races a week. And you couldn't wait to get to the racetrack. And then we started running NHRA and running national events. And that kind of progressed when top sportsman. I actually won Rockingham Pro-Am Nationals in top sportsman. And I had a Linko. And back then, run a Linko versus all them automatics, they didn't expect you to win races. We did. And then 2 years later, Pro Mod come about. We had a Beretta. We set the world record at Englishtown. And then I won the Winter Nationals against Scotty Cannon in '91, so Pro Modified. And it's just kind of progressed from there. Pro Mod cars now are nothing like what we had back then. I mean, back then it was basically a Pro Stock car with a lot of nitrous or a blower. The Pro Mod cars now are pretty sophisticated. We built Mike Janis's cars. He's world champion, and the stuff that they do is unreal. I mean, it's almost like a Pro Stock car now. They got the electronics, everything just like we do. Shocks. I mean, who would ever thought 30 years ago you'd have shocks that cost $20,000? And now it's kind of a norm. So. We were rocking and rolling there before the economy went down in 08 or 09. We were actually about 4 or 5 years there averaging 30 new cars a year. That's wired, plumb, painted out the door. We had it down to science back then. I mean, pretty much had every 2 weeks one going out the door. Not complete, finished, but it takes a couple months to build one, but we just had them in a sequence that way. But yeah, had 14 people working. Big headaches. Call it adult daycare. I got some good ones now. I've probably got the best crew now that I've ever had. We're busy, which is a good thing. We've got about 4 of 5 of the No Prep Kings cars on order. We're doing Scott Taylor a new car. Just done Birdman a new car. Fabian Bell's got a new car ordered from us. Then I've got a new car sitting here, just about finished for Art Hodges to run comp. And then I got another No Prep Mustang here with this thing goes in. Going to Michigan to David Mogg. And then we got several Top Sportsman cars on order, new C7 Corvette. Got a new Camaro going together to try to set the world record in LS turbo deal. We got pretty good array of stuff. But, yeah, I'm not gonna say this is an easy business. It's not. It's not boring. You're always saying something you didn't know. And dealing with people, you always come up with people that out there. I've had some guys brought some ideas in. It's like, okay, what space cadet we got here? But it all works out. So they can get in touch with me. We've got a website. We've got emails. GoFastSRC@gmail.com, and then our website is srcmotorsports.com. Do it that way, or just Google us. I had a customer yesterday Googled us, couldn't find our number, but that's about the best way. I'm Wally Stroupe, and I am PRI.